Hello everyone, it's Scrappy Kathy and we're doing another Scrap Squad Sunday. And this week the lift is this awesome boy page by Melinda Sweetman for Scrap the Boys. She's on their design team. And though this isn't the best resolution photo, you can kind of see what I'm loving about it is the color scheme, the gray background, the green, and then the white, and then the strip of photos, and lots of, mixed media kind of surrounding the photo cluster. So I'm going to try to get as close to that as possible. I'll tell you what I'm using. I haven't cut the papers yet, so you're going to have to endure that. I'm going to be scrapping this strip. In the original, there are 2 photos and then a journaling strip. And so I just kind of incorporated that. I formatted my photos and the journaling onto my word processing system on my computer. And I color matched the fill I created a box, a rectangle, and then filled it with that lime green color that I'm going to repeat several times here. And then I brought in a shape which had the rounded corners, which I did the same thing here. And then on these I had no fill, so the photo would show through, but the rounded corners are still there, and I gave it an outline. Here I did the outline and I filled it with white and then put a text box that fit right inside of it. And I just remembered that the font that I used here did not do punctuation, so I have to put an apostrophe for Barrett's and an exclamation point here after gorgeous, a period after effect, and a period after called. So these are photos that were taken at last night's football game. I took one right before this, about 10 minutes before this, that was totally washed out because of how strong the sun was. And it was 88 degrees and it was really a scorcher. And unfortunately, bad planning, I think, the home team seats faced west. So when we're still in daylight savings time, it's the time that the games start, the sun is still just beating down. So this was taken when a cloud came in front of the sun, and you can kind of see how strong the sun is. You can see those rays. Well, it's oddly enough, the Scrap Squad kind of indulged me with a lift this month that has those rays kind of in the white paper there. So I'm going to recreate those. Let's see, what else did I want to say? This is a bigger strip than there, so the proportions are going to be a little bit off. I'm going to use this Bramble Fox stencil. I've got my gray background paper is this SEI paper that came from a paper pad, I'm guessing, because it has a hole in it. Or at least, I think SEI released some sheets, that kind of coordinating sheets, in like a mini kit years and years ago. And this may have been one of those. So that's going to be my background. It's black with, or gray, with gray and white polka dots. So it's not just a solidly white polka dotted. This is Illustrated Faith, and it's the perfect lime green that I want. I love this floral on the other side, so I'm not going to use all of this. I'm going to make this 9... Let me cut the strip off. Make this 9 by 9. And then I will make the white. Get that in there straight. I'll make the white, and I'll show you that. It's kind of an interesting paper. I'm going to just cut 3 inches off of this side. And 3 inches off of this side. So that's my 9x9 strip that's going to go on the gray. And then I'm going to do an 8 1/4 by 8 1/4, I think, on this, or maybe not. Maybe just 8 by 8, so I'll just cut 4 off. This is an Alexandra Ranke paper, and I love it. It is, it kind of fades into the background. It's got a lot of travel symbols. It's got Dutch windmills, and it's got the Sydney Opera House and Statue of Liberty, and, you know, all kinds of monuments from around the world. And it has nothing to do with football, but I'm going to use it anyway. So I'll cut 4 inches off there. And I'll cut these 4 inches off here. And her paper is very, has a high rag content. It's very high quality paper. And so it's going to, it's going to distress really well. So that's how that's going to kind of go. And I'm sorry. Let me make sure the camera's okay after that bump. Okay, again, I think I told you that the chair that doesn't bump the tripod is literally on its last legs. A full bolt screw system kind of fell out. Because there's so many layers of paper, I'm not going to do my normal foam, except maybe under the photo cluster. And right now, I'm just going to quickly distress this, and I'm going to bend it around a lot. But the main paper that's going to get bent around is the green. The gray is going to stay pretty much as it is. I've got some... I want to do splatters in 3 colors. I've got a Heidi Swapp Color Shine Intensil, which is a really nice pewter gray. And then I've got the Delusions Shimmer Spray in the Fresh Lime. And then I've got white. And I'm going to stencil on the rays on this white paper with this Twisted Citron Distress Oxide. So we'll see how all that kind of works together. The game was called at halftime. There was lightning that in the area, and the storms were headed our way. And even though the lightning didn't seem all that threatening, and a lot of the diehards there really wanted the game to continue, especially the other team, because they were down 24-0. Our guys did really well. Barrett had, I think 3 or 4 carries and 1 reception for 4 first downs and over 100 yards of offense. And he has in the past been put in at defense, but because this was a scrimmage and doesn't count for the school's records, they didn't put him in at defense, but he's been practicing it all week, so he was ready. Okay, I'm going to really mess this up and tear it, kind of get it. I had to mail something to a friend this morning, and I was looking for something to go with what I was sending, so I just had to go into a store. And while I was there, I happened to notice that there were well, first of all, I had a 20% off total purchase coupon. So I was looking in the scrappy supplies, and I was looking for stickers or word stickers or phrase stickers that had the word fun. And I saw this one that said fun in the sun. And it's meant to be something of an irony, because we were at a nighttime football game, and yet the sun was a really big factor in the whole thing. So, and it's just exactly the right color, so that's going to be my title. Okay, so that's there. This one is going to get bent up too, but I kind of want to keep the integrity across this way. I'll bend up the bottom and the top, but where the photo strip goes across, I kind of want it flat. I'm going to put the photo strip on foam if I can get hold of it. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of cut it in half here. And I think that's about the right. And I'm going to double it up. Well, I shouldn't do that quite yet. Okay, so this is going to go on here. Let me get that centered and taped down. I'm going to stand up to center it. Again, I have moved the camera, so let me get it on a little bit square there. I'm eyeballing it instead of measuring, and that's kind of what I do. Here, we'll kind of put that in there. I'm going to do the stenciling before I glue it on. And in order to know where to put it, I have to know where the photo cluster is going to go. So the photo cluster is going to have to, because of how big it is, it's going to have to cross all three lines. I would prefer it, and I should have printed the photos smaller, so that's on me. But that is what it is. So I'm actually going to go ahead and center it, and I'm going to let the rays kind of come up from the very center. I was going to put them over to the side so that they'd be right behind. You know, if it were going to go on here like this, I would do the rays kind of like that. But it's not going to do that. So let me just put this aside and do this kind of dead center a little bit up. And I'm going to washi tape that. And I'm going to use this washi tape on the page. I'll do it that way. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of rub that in. And I'm thinking that this paper is going to read kind of as just a white. I'm going to go ahead and do a few of these that I think won't show because they might. It depends on where I put the photo strip. Okay. There we go. And it's good. It's a little bit unevenly distributed, and that's kind of what I wanted. I didn't want it to be perfect. I thought about dragging some texture paste through it and thought, nah, you know, I think, and I don't know that I really, it seems like it's left justified there, so I glued it right in the center. Well, you know, I did the, that's okay. It ends up kind of right here, over close to that. And I actually have a banner that's going to go right there. So that's perfect. That works out. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and I may put this on foam. You know, I said I didn't think I needed to, and I've messed with the camera again. I'll check it as soon as I get hold of my phone. I'm so sorry. I will one day. I'm actually clearing a spot in my room that will allow me to keep things a little bit more stable over here. I won't be moving things around as much, and I may be able to just kind of permanently place things where I want them. And one of these days I may actually get a better camera and set something that's dedicated to videos. I've kind of okay, now let's get some. You know what I think I'm going to do is some of the splattering first. Let's do that. And I'm going to do that because I really don't want to risk getting any on the photo. Sometimes it doesn't matter. This is the gray. I figured I'd put the darkest color down and see where I get things. Let's see where she's got most of this concentrated right around the photo strip and pretty much all around it. And it's heaviest on the sides where the photo strip exposes some paper. Okay, so I've got that on. I'll do this, and I'm going to do some white that gets on the green and gray. Kind of want to get that messy, grungy look that she has. I really like that. And I don't want to deal with it with the photo in place. Okay, I like the white over on the gray. Let me get a little on the green. Okay. Let's let that dry for a minute. We shouldn't have to wait long. And I will pull these stars out of the dies. I had some Rosie Studio paper left from a layout that I did yesterday that also goes live Sunday for the Dog Days of Summer Hop. And I had some scraps, so I just decided to cut some stars. And I cut lots of stars for that layout, but they're not going in the same album, so it doesn't bother me to use the products, you know, so close together on layouts that are getting published at this actually on the same day. So I like using up stuff that's already on my desk because that means that I'm actually going to use it. It's likely if I don't use it right away, it's hard for me to figure out where to put it, that I'll know where to access it ever again in the history of ever. So let me see where this guy goes. And it's going to cover up a lot of my splatters, but you and I know they're there. That's too bad because I really like this cluster of splatters especially. Let me do a little bit more out on the edge here, especially with the white. Well, and those are not the kind of splatters I especially like. I don't like them to have tails on them. But it kind of means I'm going to go down here so that some of these show a little bit more, because I'm going to cover up so much. And I know I should be done with splatters by now. I'll do them kind of up in a diagonal and down in a diagonal kind of down here. And I'll let the green ones stay where they are. I think we will have enough green. Okay. And these are, except for the white, the green and the gray are shimmery. So rolling over them with the paper towel just actually increases the shimmer. Okay, so I'm happier with that. I'm gonna place this on here. Well, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and dead center it. All right. Let me get a piece of paper and press that down so that I don't touch the photos. Okay, so there. Now, there's not a lot of embellishing that's going to go on here. I do mean to put quite a few sequins on. I've got this big foam Fun in the Sun. And I'm just going to put it smack dab. Do I want it right there where it overlaps the photo or just points to it? I think I'm going to just let it point to it. There. And then, is there anything else on here? I don't think so. It's all cute stuff. But I have this kind of banner could stick up, or I have an outline-y one, or I could use both, kind of like that. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I use both, but speaking of outlining, I think I'm going to outline so you can see. It just kind of makes them stand out. And the same here. And then I will probably add some flare or something to kind of accent those, or one of the stars that I cut out. I'll do that, and you can still see the sun rays kind of coming through. And I can put that down here and let it overlap onto that green. It seems like it would have been good if I had distressed the edges, but this paper is so thin that I didn't feel like I could. Let me reach over, get my box of flares, and I don't have any like specifically football related flares, but I do have one that's not really the right color of green, and I have 3 of those. I have some green fireworks here. That's good because as they scored, there were definitely fireworks. I have a green and brown plaid that seems like it would also go, even though there's no brown in the layout. I kind of like the look that the brown gives the green. There is brown in this green, which is why this won't work. That's a purer color. Okay, and there is a gray camera. I think I have a gray camera. So let me see what I've got. I've got pink, blue, blue, teal, blue, more blue, pink, and fuchsia. Please have a gray camera. I have a black heart. That's not, I may have a gray heart. I might have used the gray camera because it's a good neutral color. There's a navy blue and another blue. I have lots of blue. There's a green geotag. Okay, not having much luck there. These 2 I'm happy with. Black is too much of a contrast. So let me see if I can find a gray. My gray, there's a gray right there. That's not as dark a gray. Here I am complaining. That green might work, even though, nope, it's just, I just don't want, if I use, there's that brownish gray. Okay, got it. I'm good. Okay, There is in the original, there's a couple embellishments down here. It looks like there's a word strip and a film strip. So I've got two different film strip washi tapes, and where's the one I used on the stencil? It's not still on the stencil. Okay, I had intended to maybe use it. I'm gonna go ahead and overlay this one. Well, no, I'm not. This is the one I'm gonna have underneath. I'm gonna have one underneath the photo strip, kind of peeking out from under the photo strip. And the other one, which is this narrow one, I will put across the top, maybe going the other direction, maybe like that. And I'll tear it right there. Okay, so that's good. And then anchoring that maybe could be the brown, or maybe anchoring it over the other side. Let it end that, because the fireworks will go there, and this heart maybe can go kind of overlapping that guy. Okay, so let me cut some foam tape and get those guys on. This one's gonna need two bits of tape. I tried to work in a, okay, there, and then I'm gonna add one of my die cut stars over here on also on a piece of tape. A piece of foam tape rather. And okay, there we go. It's sun, but the stars were getting ready to come out. There was still sun. And I have this star that I fussy cut. Maybe this could go here. It's a fussy cut from a vellum sheet that Vicki Boutin released with her Let's Wander collection. And I want to put the glue on lightly so that it doesn't curl up. And I'm going to kind of put it peeking out from there. Okay, and I've got another one here. I'm going to put these in just so that I know where they are, because they are the best looking of the stars. And I've cut the ones from the vellum sheet that kind of went with the color scheme. And I'll put this one maybe right there. And I can put another one around it. And that's going to help guide where I put the sequins. Do I have that on there yet? I do not. Let me get that on there. Now this green is bothering me. There's not as much of it, so it's not as obvious that it's a different green. But maybe I can put a sequin or something on there. Okay. that little star on there might be good, but it kind of draws attention to the fact that it isn't exactly the same color. But I think that would look better there. This is the only whole star that I was able to cut out of the scrap that I have left. It's getting down to the nubs, and then I can put a sequin there. Okay, a couple more of these stars, and I'm gonna try to put all of them on foam so there's some depth. Maybe I can put one here. Is that one not down? That's not down. Okay. Well, we'll put it down. I like how the splatters are kind of making the sun rays look a little grungy. I guess I need to get both. Okay, there. Now, that one's on, this one's on, that one's on. Okay, so we're good. Now, we're doing a couple more of these little stars. I'm not quite sure where. Then we'll go with sequins, and then we're done. I have enough in the journaling. I'm not doing word strips, I don't think. Although, I did just see, I have some Tim Holtz rub-ons. There's a Shine Brightly, Live Out Loud. There's another Shine Brightly, Beautiful Day. We'll see at the end of it if I want to do it. It might be hard to get rub-ons on here right now. Okay, see, that guy's curling. Let me maybe put this right there, bridging between those two papers. And then I've got another one, and I'll pair it with this Vicky Bouton star and maybe have it kind of bridging a couple layers of paper. So I'll put double foam on it. I really love that layout, and I would love to do it with a smaller strip someday. Okay, now I'm going to use the Spiegelmom Scraps mix called Guac It Real Good. And it's got some greens in there. I'm going to hide one little avocado for MK Gunn, Morgan K. You may know her on Instagram, and MK Gunn, she owns a really great little company called Some Assemblage Required, and she sells embellishments. She has an Etsy shop. I think it's an Etsy shop. Whatever it is, I follow a link, and I get wonderful stuff. Okay, I'm going to put a couple, like a group of sequins down here. Anyway, she posted something on Facebook. I met her at a retreat in 2019, and I was doing Calvin Ball at the time. It was in March. I was doing Calvin Ball, and one of the items that could get you points in Calvin Ball was avocado. So everybody in the group was out finding avocados in their stashes and giving them to me. And everybody was laughing at me because I put an avocado on everything. And Easter was coming up, and there was one of the challenges that actually had a felt Easter egg. And I got, I think, a brown one, or maybe a pink one. But whatever it was, I traded it with somebody else in the class for a green one. And I turned the Easter egg into an avocado and made my whole page about, and it was, the photo I had was a photo of my granddaughter Katie just dancing, you know, and as the saying goes, dance like no one is looking, no one is watching. So I changed the title to, we also got a point for a long title. So my title was Dance Like the Avocado Isn't Watching, or Dance Like the Avocado Is Watching, or something like that. I forget which way. And I had so much fun with that. And of course, everybody in the retreat enjoyed laughing at my expense. And I'm going to put the avocado right over there. So she found a purse that was a zippered avocado. And she said that everywhere she turns these days, she's reminded of me. And she said some very nice things. So everybody got a good laugh because those at the retreat knew why she was reminded of me with avocados, and anybody who's ever played Calvin Ball also knows what that's about, because if you play Calvin Ball, you're going to find in the pages that you scrapbook in the month of March, if you play it like I do anyway, and I play it for fun, which is trying to follow the rules as closely as I can to get as many points as I can. It's certainly a competitive thing, but I also think it's fun to put some of those oddball, random things on my pages. I have no problems with that at all. An avocado on a football page that's about how sunny and hot it was and the fact that lightning caused us to call the game. The avocado doesn't make any sense, but then, you know, neither does anything else, and it doesn't have to. So I'm kind of a anything goes. I would put a sloth on there if I got points for having a sloth. And by the way, I love sloths. And I think they're adorable on pages. When I was at the store, noticed that somebody, I guess the copyright is expired now, and there was a birthday line, maybe a couple of years ago, maybe a little bit over a year ago, that had sloths and avocados dressed up in birthday costumes. And they've put out, the American Crafts has put this paper out in single-sided pages that are really kind of wimpy paper. And I saw it and I thought, okay, I could use some sloths and some avocados. So maybe I'll just buy a sheet of it for fussy cutting. And then I remembered that I think I have more of it. I'll have to look for it, but I think I can find some. And then I'll just fussy cut away, getting ready for Calvin Ball. So here's my page, and I actually really, really like that. So hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next Sunday for Scrap Squad Sunday. And thanks for watching. Bye.